Welcome, welcome. Here we are clicking into Schoology. Then I'm going to find the day of the week after I find the course that I'm in. Oh, there it is. Here I am in Language Arts. Then I'll go ahead and click on Monday Work. That'll take me right here. There's my homework, and here is the Pear Deck. That'll open right up. Happy as a clam. And here we are, TDA practice. We're going to read, annotate, evaluate, and analyze the text and write a TDA based on the text. Let's take a moment and look at the guiding TDA prompt for this week. Theme is the life lesson the author would like his reader to get out of this text. How does Jimenez develop the theme throughout the circuit? Who's Jimenez? The author of the story, The Circuit. Support your answer with evidence from the text. Please take a moment and drag those two red dots to the two most important or key words from the prompt. Excellent. Read the text for the first time and annotate along the way, all over it. Let's start with some of the main concepts from this week. Theme. All right, let's go ahead and drag this over to theme. Theme, the message, moral, or lesson that the author wants you to take away from the story. Just as cream can be hidden inside a cream-filled cupcake, a theme is hidden inside a story. Now take a look. You can see that theme is already hidden inside of this word cloud of the guiding word cloud for the story and the essay that we're going to write. So one of the main or important ideas in this one, does anything look like a theme? Well, over here I see loyalty. Characters trust each other and never turn their backs on one another. And I see family here. Could there be a connection between family and loyalty in this story? Perhaps, perhaps. Take a moment and I'd like you to find your own connection, one in the word cloud and one in the theme, and then we'll briefly discuss it. Go ahead. All right. The Circuit by Francisco Jimenez. You needn't worry about annotating this page. Background. This selection is from The Circuit, Stories from the Life of a Migrant Child, a collection of autobiographical short stories by Francisco Jimenez. In this story, the narrator, Panchito, tells of his difficult early years as part of a family of migrant farm workers. To him, life consisted of constant moving and work, with school wedged in around harvesting jobs. The circuit in the title refers to the path migrant workers take every year to find jobs. To model annotation for this page would be my pleasure at this moment. What connections do you see? Well, I see Francisco Jimenez, presumably, right, giving a speech here at a college. Looks like Harvard by the colors in the background, but I'm not sure, right? And then here's his name here, Jimenez, the author. We're learning that this is autobiographical, right? So if you might say, did he go through everything that happened in his story? You could ask that question. You could ask, what is a circuit specifically? You could put your question right there. I'm going to put it by autobiographical, auto self, bio life, graph to write. Ickle turns it into an adjective, right? I'll put the question over the col. And then we have our theme. What kind of themes could come out? What kind of life lessons could come out of a story that's all about what? Constant moving and work with very little school in between. What kind of message could you get out of a story like that? What kind of lesson are we supposed to learn? Well, let's begin the story. It was that time of year again. Ito, the strawberry sharecropper, did not smile. It was natural. The peak of the strawberry season was over, and the last few days the workers, most of them braqueros, were not picking as many boxes as they had during the months of June and July. As the last days of August disappeared, so did the number of braqueros. Sunday, only one, the best picker, came to work. I liked him. Sometimes we talked during our half-hour lunch break. That is how I found out that he was from Jalisco, the same state in Mexico my family was from. That Sunday was the last time I saw him. When the sun had tired and sunk behind the mountains. Ito signaled us that it was time to go home. Ya Asura, he yelled in his broken Spanish. Those were the words I waited for 12 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week after week, and the thought of not hearing them again saddened me. I would like to bring to your attention the parallelism right at the end of paragraph 3. Take a look at this sentence again. Those were the words I waited for 12 hours a day, every day. Notice that we have some repetition of the words themselves, but there's also the rhythm of it, which is what a parallelism is. It looks more at syntax or grammar or structure than it does semantics. I waited for 12 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week after week, more repetition, and the thought of not hearing them again saddened me. Take a moment to drag your question mark to a part of the page that you have a question about. All right. What theme is implied at the end of the circuit? This is from the test that comes with this story, but let's take a moment and think through theme and the circuit now that we know a little something about the story and the background, right? What theme is implied at the end of the circuit? Is the theme going to be few things in life are lasting? Is it going to be B, always expect the best outcome? C, good things come to those who wait? Or D, helping others is the key to happiness? Please drag the light bulb to the answer that you think is most likely, even knowing we only read the first part of the story. Okay. Cool. Now let's look at themes in literature. Just remember that cream-filled cupcake from earlier. Cream filling is hidden inside a cupcake. Themes are hidden inside a book. What does the author have the reader realize? All right, well, they've got those 3 examples there. Let's look at those 3 examples. Well, Little Red Riding Hood, appearances can be deceiving sometimes, right? Don't trust that grandma's really grandma, might be a wolf. 3 Little Pigs, hard work and patience pay off in the end. Take the time to make your house out of brick, right? Notice how none of these themes mention parts of the story specifically, just the lessons. All right, now, do you have a question about anything that you see on this page? For me, I might go the Little Red Hen. I don't quite remember how that story goes. All right, so which of these themes did we think it was? All right, and we have that over by there, and we can move our check mark over to the life lesson. Slide 9. As we drove home, Papa did not say a word. With both hands on the wheel, he stared at the dirt road. My older brother, Roberto, was also silent. He leaned his head back and closed his eyes. Once in a while, he cleared from his throat the dust that blew in from outside. Yes, it was that time of year. When I opened the front door to the shack, I stopped. Everything we owned was neatly packed in cardboard boxes. Suddenly, I felt even more the weight of hours, days, weeks, and months of work. I sat down on a box. The thought of having to move to Fresno and knowing what was in store for me there brought tears to my eyes. That night, I could not sleep. I lay in bed thinking about how much I hated this move. Please take a moment to annotate this page with connections, to look for themes, and to find one place for your questions. Go ahead. Okay. Now the directions here once again are to reread the underlined portion out loud on Vocaroo. That includes in the left-hand side what's underlined in red, and then you can use the red part of the question on the right to help phrase your answer. You'll finish the sentence starter out loud or by yourself, or with an elbow partner, someone close by that you could reach with your elbow if need be. Make sure you open up the Vocaroo link. And then when you're ready to start reading, you'll go ahead and click this on and then begin here. Go ahead. Okay. So hopefully, if you haven't yet, make sure later, in case you forgot, to put your link right here. If you don't have a computer today, hopefully you had a chance to work with a partner or you wrote it down. A little before 5 o'clock in the morning, Papa woke everyone up. A few minutes later, the yelling and screaming of my little brothers and sisters, for whom the move was a great adventure, broke the silence of dawn. Shortly, the barking of the dogs accompanied them. While we packed the breakfast dishes, Papa went outside to start the car Conchita. That was the name Papa gave his old 38 black Plymouth. He bought it in a used car lot in Santa Rosa in the winter of 1949. Papa was very proud of his little jalopy. He had a right to be proud of it. When he spent a lot of time looking at other cars before buying this one. When he finally chose the car Conchita, he checked it thoroughly. Please drag this magnifying glass to the letters LY. That indicates that it's an adverb. He checked it thoroughly before driving. Checked is the verb, thoroughly refers to it. Before driving it out of the car lot, he examined every inch of the car. He listened to the motor, tilting his head from side to side like a parrot, trying to detect any noises that spelled car trouble. After being satisfied with the looks and sounds of the car, Papa then insisted on knowing who the original owner was. He never did find out from the car salesman, but he bought the car anyway. Papa figured the original owner must have been an important man because behind the rear seat of the car he found a blue necktie. Please take a moment to finish annotating this page. Please take a moment. You'll be reading this page to yourself, and you'll also be annotating this page to yourself. Let's take the time to do so now. I held the front door open as Mama carefully carried out her pot by both handles, making sure not to spill the cooked beans. When she got to the car, Papa reached out to help her with it. Roberto opened the rear car door, and Papa gently placed it on the floor behind the front seat. All of us then climbed in. Papa sighed, wiped the sweat from his forehead with his sleeve, and said wearily, as Toto, please drag your magnifying glass to the ly on the end of this adverb wearily. The verb is said, the adverb describing it is wearily, as Toto. As we drove away, I felt a lump in my throat, and I turned around and looked at our little shack for the last time. At sunset, we drove into a labor camp near Fresno. Since Papa did not speak English, Mama asked the camp foreman if he needed any more workers. We don't need no more, said the foreman, scratching his head. Check with Sullivan down the road. Can't miss him. He lives in a big white house with a fence around it. Take a moment to annotate this page, please. When we got there, Mama walked up to the house. She went through the white gate, past a row of rose bushes, up the stairs to the front door. She rang the doorbell. The porch light went on, and a tall, husky man came out. They exchanged a few words, and after the man went in, Mama clasped her hands and hurried back to the car. We have work. Mr. Sullivan said we can stay there the whole season, she said, gasping and pointing to an old garage near the stables. The garage was worn out by the years. It had no windows. The walls, eaten by termites, strained to support the roof full of holes, and the dirt floor, populated by earthworms, looked like a gray road map. Take a moment, please, to annotate this page. Now that we've had a chance to go over this story, let's pause before we start to strike out on our own. We want us to think about theme, and we want to think about theme in terms of this story, the circuit that we're reading. Take a moment to look at the themes listed on the left, and then to find any words that you feel connect on the right. Why do they connect? Be prepared to discuss that as a class and with your partner. Please take the time now.